if you're listening to this, you definitely know the feeling. In a world that moves so fast, the second you have to file a complex document, like a commercial permit or something,
Everything just stops.
everything grinds to a halt. We all want instant answers, we want speed, but it feels like these bureaucratic processes are still, I don't know, stuck in the past with endless forms and manual review.
Oh, it's more than just slow. It's just profoundly inefficient. That whole manual documentation process is the single biggest point of friction.
Right.
Every time a person has to type in a detail or, cross-reference a zoning code, the risk of a simple typo or a missing section just skyrockets. And that leads to these massive, costly delays.
And in that delay, that whole cycle of submit, reject, resubmit, that's exactly what we're targeting today.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive is about the tech that promises to break that cycle.
Right. Our mission here is to show you exactly how natural language processing, or NLP, is becoming this transformative solution for regulatory applications.
Yeah.
We want to go beyond just saying AI and really look at how this specific technology makes things like permit applications dramatically faster and, well, more accurate than we thought was possible just a few years back.
Okay, so let's unpack that. We're talking about using some pretty sophisticated machine learning to tackle, I guess, the very structured but also painfully complex world of government paperwork.
Yeah.
So what is NLP when you apply it to this problem? How does it actually read a mountain of regulatory text?
At its core, NLP is the bridge. It's the bridge between our language, human language, and computer instructions.
Okay.
It's a branch of artificial intelligence, and it's designed specifically to let machines read, understand, interpret, and then, even generate human language. It basically gives the computer literacy.
And for documentation, the key part there is it's a kind of translation, right? You might have a 50-page document. It's full of prose, legal clauses. That's what we call unstructured data.
Exactly. It's messy, it's complex.
And it takes a huge amount of effort to process manually.
Precisely. The core function, the real magic NLP performs here, is transforming that raw, unstructured data, all the jargon, the free-form text, into structured formats.
Okay, so you're turning it into something a system can read easily.
Think of it like this. You take a dense novel and you instantly convert all the characters, dates, and locations into a perfect, searchable spreadsheet. Once the data is structured, automated systems can just fly through it.
That makes the leap from manual to automated review seem a lot less scary. Because with permit applications, the sheer difficulty of cross-referencing everything is what causes the errors in the first place.
Yeah.
An NLP model doesn't get bored.
It doesn't get bored, and it doesn't overlook some subtle inconsistency in Section 4.
Exactly.
And to do that, it uses some really specialized techniques. For example, it doesn't just look for keywords. It uses what's called named entity recognition.
NER.
NER, right? To contextually recognize what it's seeing, it can reliably spot and label every address, every financial figure, every technical spec, no matter where it is in the text.
And that distinction, recognizing what the information is, not just that the word exists, that's where the intelligence is.
Okay, let's pivot to the workflow. This is where it gets really interesting. How do these algorithms actually make the process smoother?
Well, if we look at the whole process end to end, we see NLP systems working in really three main categories. Each one tackles a critical bottleneck.
So the first one has to deal with just getting all that complex information in, right? If
Yeah.
you want to reduce human error, you have to get the source data right from the start.
That's the extracting key information role. And it's built right on top of that NER capability we just mentioned. The algorithm scans everything, application forms, environmental reports, you name it.
And it just pulls the required data points.
It pulls them into standardized fields.
Right.
So if an applicant mentions a specific zoning ordinance number deep in some narrative section, the NLP system makes sure that exact number is extracted and flagged for verification.
So an administrator can't miss it.
They can't miss it. It forces consistency from these, often very messy inputs. But I'd argue that detecting errors is even more valuable than just extracting data. How does the algorithm go beyond just checking if a box is filled and actually find inconsistencies in the meaning of the application?
That brings us to the second and maybe the most powerful function, identifying errors and inconsistencies using semantic analysis.
Okay.
The system isn't just seeing if a box is checked. It's reading the content of different sections and comparing them. So, for example, if an application says a project is for residential use in one place, but the attached technical specs reference, say commercial-grade wiring, the system flags that discrepancy immediately.
Now, that is the difference between a simple validation tool and true automated compliance checking. It's catching conflicting statements that a human reviewer might only spot after hours of work.
Exactly. It prevents errors before the submission even hits a reviewer's desk.
So what's the third category?
The third is all about the applicant's experience, and it's streamlining communication. This is where you see things like NLP-powered chatbots or smart guidance tools.
I can definitely see the benefit there. Instead of waiting days for someone to answer a niche question about a building code, you get real-time help. How does that make sure the guidance is actually accurate?
It uses something called intent classification. So when you ask a question like, do I need a fire suppression system for a 10-unit building in Zone C?
Right.
The NLP engine classifies your intent. It pulls out the key entities, fire suppression, 10 units, Zone C, and it cross-references the official regulatory database. So the answer is instantly compliant and relevant. It basically turns a painful process into an interactive guide.
So if we connect all of this technical detail back to the bigger picture, what are the tangible benefits? For the agencies, sure, but more importantly for the applicant who just wants to get their project approved.
The benefits are profound. I mean, we're talking about a total administrative overhaul that hits time, cost, and quality.
The sources outline 4 core shifts, starting with the most obvious one: increased efficiency.
Absolutely. Automating all those routine tasks, data entry, basic verification, it just massively speeds up the whole process. Faster intake, shorter review cycles, quicker approvals.
Second, and this is the quality control piece, reduced errors.
Right. By minimizing the human involvement in those early stages, you functionally eliminate the common stuff. The typos, the missed fields, the inconsistent formats that always clog up the system.
And third, that efficiency has to translate into cost savings.
It does directly. For the agencies, it's lower operational costs. For the applicant, fewer errors mean fewer costly delays and no reprocessing fees. It's a win-win.
Which brings us to the fourth benefit, the ultimate goal: improved accuracy and compliance.
Which is the whole point.
Yeah.
The system ensures applications are filled out correctly from the start, which just drastically reduces the likelihood of rejection.
And we don't have to guess at this. We have actual proof points, right? There are agencies already doing this.
We do. The sources specifically highlight a really significant case study of a city planning department that adopted an NLP-driven system.
For their building permits. And they reported some pretty immediate gains.
The data points are what's really striking here. This department, they reported a 30% decrease in overall processing times.
30%, that's huge.
And a 25% reduction in errors found in the submitted forms.
A 30% reduction in time. For a major commercial project, that could be months shaved off the timeline. That's a massive financial return. But what does that mean for the agency itself? It's an interesting shift.
It absolutely is. When the AI is handling the basic verification, it means the agency staff are no longer bogged down in that tedious work. They're freed up.
Freed up to do what?
To focus on the actual decision-making, the complex analysis that only a human can perform, looking at unforeseen impacts, making judgment calls.
So the goal isn't to cut staff, but to reallocate their expertise to higher value tasks. It moves the bottleneck from simple verification to complex human analysis.
Precisely. It's a systemic elevation of the entire process.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean? The conclusion seems pretty clear. NLP isn't just some incremental upgrade. It is actively revolutionizing this entire space.
It really is.
The sources describe it as a game changer for streamlining government processes, improving service delivery, and, cutting costs.
Yeah, the technology is stable. The mechanisms are proven, the benefits are quantified. As this ability to process complex, unstructured data continues to get better, we can only expect to see broader adoption.
Yeah, beyond just building permits. You can imagine this being applied to intellectual property filings, environmental impact assessments,
or even high-volume healthcare compliance forms.
Yeah.
It really is the future of administrative efficiency. It will fundamentally change compliance and service delivery worldwide.
So here's the final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
If NLP can reduce errors by a quarter and speed up massive building permits by nearly a third, what complex, multi-page regulatory document in your professional life is just sitting there waiting to be transformed?
That's the scale of efficiency we've really unlocked here.